It happens without warning. You could be lying in bed, halfway between wakefulness and sleep. You could be sitting at your desk, focused on a spreadsheet. You could even be walking down the street. And then it strikes. A sudden, sharp, involuntary clenching. A firework of pain that seizes a muscle and refuses to let go. The immediate diagnosis we all jump to is purely physical. We run through the checklist in our heads. Did I not drink enough water today? Have I been sitting too long? Maybe I'm low on potassium. I should have eaten that banana. And often, one of those is the correct answer. The body is a complex machine, and its maintenance requires specific inputs. Electrolytes, hydration, movement, simple cause, simple effect. But what if it's not? What if you did drink enough water? What if your diet is fine, your exercise routine is balanced, and yet the cramps persist? What if that agonizing, seizing muscle isn't just a signal of physical imbalance, but a message from a much deeper, much quieter place? What if that cramp is a symptom of your mind? Before we can explore the hidden link, we have to properly acknowledge and rule out the usual suspects. Muscle cramps, or what's technically called a Charlie horse, are incredibly common. At its most basic level, a cramp is a sustained, involuntary muscle contraction. Your muscle decides to tense up and it forgets to relax. The most common culprit is, of course, dehydration. Your muscles need water to function smoothly. Without it, the delicate balance of minerals and electrolytes within the muscle cells gets disrupted. Next up are electrolytes. Sodium, potassium, calcium, and especially magnesium. These aren't just names from the back of a sports drink bottle. They are the electrical messengers that tell your muscles when to contract and when to release. An imbalance, too little or too much, can cause the signals to go haywire. Your brain says relax, but the muscle doesn't get the message correctly. And finally, there's simple overuse or strain. Run a marathon without training and you can expect cramps. Hold a muscle in an awkward position for too long, and it might protest by locking up. These explanations are clean. They are logical. They are the reasons a doctor or a physical therapist will investigate first, and for good reason. They account for the vast majority of cases. But they don't account for all of them. They don't explain the persistent chronic cramps that appear even when you're doing everything right. They don't explain the cramps that seem to arrive hand in hand with periods of intense stress, sadness, or fatigue. To understand that, we need to stop looking at the muscle itself and start looking at the system that controls it. Your body and your brain are not two separate entities. They are a single, deeply integrated system, constantly in communication. Your brain sends signals to your body, and your body sends signals back to your brain. This communication happens largely through the nervous system and a cocktail of chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. Now think about your car. When the oil is low or the engine is misfiring, a light flashes on the dashboard. The light isn't the problem, it's a symptom of the problem. It's an alarm designed to get your attention. In medicine, there's a concept called somatization. It's a complex term for a simple idea. Emotional and psychological distress can manifest as real physical symptoms. Headaches, digestive issues, back pain, and yes, muscle cramping. Your brain, struggling under the weight of something like depression, can start sending out faulty signals. It's as if the check engine light for your emotional state isn't on a dashboard you can see, but is instead wired directly into your physical body. The distress needs an outlet, a way to signal that something is wrong. A persistent nagging pain is a very effective alarm bell. This isn't to say the pain is all in your head. The pain is 100% real. The muscle is contracting. The agony is physical. The difference is the origin of the command. The problem isn't in the muscle fiber itself, but further up the chain of command in the complex neurochemical environment of the brain. And that's where we find the direct scientific bridge. To understand the link, we need to talk about three key players: serotonin, norepinephrine, and magnesium. First, serotonin. It's famously known as the happy chemical, but that's a massive oversimplification. Serotonin is more like a master regulator. It helps control mood, sleep, appetite, and digestion. But crucially, it also plays a significant role in pain perception and muscle function. In a healthy brain, serotonin helps to modulate signals, keeping things running smoothly. But in depression, serotonin levels are often dysregulated. When serotonin signaling is impaired, your pain threshold can actually lower. Sensations that might normally be minor aches can be amplified into significant pain. Furthermore, the nerves that control muscle contraction can become more excitable. They're more prone to firing erratically, leading to those spontaneous, involuntary cramps. It's like a guitar amplifier with the gain turned up too high. The slightest touch creates a blast of noise. Next is norepinephrine. This is a key player in the body's fight or flight response. It's what primes your body for action when you perceive a threat. Your heart rate increases, your senses sharpen, and your muscles tense, ready to spring into action. This is a fantastic system for surviving immediate, short-term threats. But depression and chronic anxiety can trick this system into staying on day after day. Your brain is constantly perceiving a threat, whether it's a looming deadline, financial worry, or an internal feeling of dread. The result is a constant, low-level release of stress hormones like cortisol and norepinephrine. This keeps your muscles in a perpetual state of readiness, subtly tensed. They never get a chance to fully relax. Over time, this chronic tension can exhaust the muscles, making them far more susceptible to cramping and spasms. Your body is clenched for a fight that never comes. And this brings us to our third and perhaps most direct link, magnesium. If you think of calcium as the mineral that tells your muscles to contract, magnesium is the mineral that tells them to relax. It acts as a natural calcium blocker, sitting in the nerve receptors and preventing them from becoming overstimulated. It is quite literally the body's calming mineral. Here's the crucial connection. The chronic stress response we just talked about, the one driven by depression, burns through your body's magnesium stores. The primary stress hormone, cortisol, actually causes your body to excrete more magnesium through urine. So you see the chain of events. Depression leads to chronic stress. Chronic stress depletes magnesium, and low magnesium removes the natural brake on your muscle cells, leaving them hyperexcitable and prone to cramping at the slightest provocation. That midnight leg cramp could be the final physical manifestation of a stressful week and a depleted mineral store. And here's where it becomes more than just a series of one-way signals. It becomes a vicious, self-perpetuating cycle. This is the spiral rehook that can keep people stuck. Imagine this. Your underlying depression and anxiety are causing muscle tension and depleting your magnesium, which leads to painful cramps, particularly at night. These cramps disrupt your sleep. Poor sleep is a well-known catalyst for worsening mood and cognitive function. You wake up exhausted, more irritable, and less resilient to stress. This increased fatigue and lower mood amplifies the feelings of depression, which in turn ramps up the stress response, further tensing your muscles and burning through what little magnesium you have left. The pain itself also contributes. Chronic pain is physically and mentally draining. It can make you want to move less, leading to muscle deconditioning. It can make you feel helpless and frustrated with your own body. These feelings are fuel for depression. So the cramp, which started as a symptom of depression, now becomes a cause of more depression. Pain feeds low mood, which feeds the stress response, which feeds the pain. It's a feedback loop that can be incredibly difficult to break. So what does this all mean? It means that our bodies speak to us in a language we often ignore. We are trained to look for the most direct, mechanical cause of a physical problem. But sometimes the body is a messenger for the mind. A persistent cramp, a recurring tension headache, an unexplainable stomach ache, these aren't necessarily signs of a localized problem. They can be indicators of a systemic issue, a sign that your mental and emotional load has become too heavy to bear. Your body is using the only language it has, the language of sensation, to tell you that it needs help. The solution then isn't just to eat more bananas or drink more water, though those things are still important. The deeper solution is to address the source of the signal. It means acknowledging the stress, the anxiety, the sadness. It means understanding that mental health is not separate from physical health. It is physical health. The neurotransmitters in your brain are as real and physical as the muscles in your leg. This connection is recognized by modern medicine. It's why some of the most common antidepressant medications, SSRIs and SNRIs, which work on serotonin and norepinephrine, are also sometimes used to treat chronic pain conditions like fibromyalgia. They aren't just treating the mood, they are retuning the entire neurochemical system, which can raise the pain threshold and calm overactive nerves. That sudden, sharp pain in the middle of the night might be the most honest signal your body has given you all day. It's asking you to pay attention, not just to your muscles, but to your mind. It is essential to say that this is not medical advice. If you are experiencing persistent cramps or symptoms of depression, the most important step is to speak with a doctor or a mental health professional. They can help you rule out other potential physical causes and find the right path forward for both your body and your mind. But the goal of this video is to illuminate a connection that is too often left in the dark, to show that the intricate wiring between our thoughts, our feelings, and our physical selves is far more direct than we imagine. If you find these kinds of deep dives into the hidden connections that shape our health and our world compelling, consider subscribing. We don't do hype or quick fixes here. We explore the unseen patterns and the complex systems, trying to make a little more sense of the human experience, one topic at a time. Click the bell icon so you don't miss our next investigation, where we'll be exploring another interesting topic. Thank you for watching.